Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. I've got a weird echo going. There we go. I'll stop that. Ha! Inaugural it wouldn't be a Mr. Burger broadcast if there wasn't a terrible, horrible technical F up. So let's just start this thing off with the special praise. All right, don't tell anybody I did that. It's Mac, Mac, aka Mr. Burger. I'm here with the crew, Vaughn, Brian, Dan, and Iron Oxide. We're here to talk about Dan's book first, and then we'll go into Brian's book, and then we'll go into Vaughn's book. Iron is riding shotgun here, and the purpose of this broadcast is called the pitch, is to pitch and support creators' crowdfunding campaigns. All right. So, hey, Brian, if you can bring up anything you want to share, please do.
Should I send that to you, or do you want me to just share
share screens if you wouldn't mind?
All right.
Brian, excuse me, Dan, Brian, Vaughn. Dan, if you wouldn't mind. So, folks,
sure.
What we're trying to do here is we're trying to get small, mid-level, and creators that are just tired of the drama onto a platform where they can come on and do what they used to do, which is just simply talk about their wares, promote their products, promote their books, promote their films, promote their animations, promote their music, even promote their YouTube channels to a wider audience out there in the internet land. We want to give people a way to do things, like I said, drama-free. And we want to give them multiple opportunities per month to come on and showcase what they can do. We want to interview these artists, find out how they've been inspired, who they've been inspired by, and what their plans are currently and going towards the future. Iron, anything to add to that?
Oh, yeah. I think you forgot. The most important thing is to come on here and just start, rabidly complaining about other creators. No, I'm just kidding. That's not it at all. It's actually what I also want to hear, where the inspirations came from, how you even got started into the medium you're in. What advice could you give other people that are wanting to start out in the same field? What are some obstacles you had to overcome along the way to get where you guys are? Those kind of things. Those are more interesting questions, I think, and some that I'm definitely going to want to bring up to everybody on the panel. So I've been really looking forward to this for a long time.
All right, Iron, if you want to start with the first question for Brian, hey, is there any way to kind of solo Brian here? Did I double click on him or something? How do I think
so. Boomer.
No, that didn't do anything.
Don't worry, you'll get the hang of it.
All right, I tell you what, Brian. Iron, start off with your first question. Brian, go right ahead.
Sure, man. I think I'll go right into one of those questions I had before. So what inspired you to start kind of getting into creating comic
Dan. Sorry. Go ahead, Dan.
There we go. Already messed it up. Dan.
Well-oiled machine.
How long have you been into comic books, and what's kind of gotten you into that?
I've been into comic books since before I could probably crawl. I have two older brothers. And of course, we grew up in the 90s, Image era, Frank Miller era, Alan Moore, maybe the end of his bigger works. So our house always had comic books. I mean, that's if it wasn't Calvin and Hobbes, it was Spawn, and it's something I always wanted to do. I tried to draw when I was younger, quickly realized I would never be able to draw. So I went into music instead and writing. Writing came pretty naturally to me. I met my artist, Josh Adams, that does all of our art, everything from pencils and inking all the way to coloring. And he was also a musician. And we've been working on the GODFOE project, the universe, for about 10 years now, and putting out comics for about 2 years now.
Oh, nice. Excellent. That's really great. 10 years.
Yep.
That's a long time. Go ahead, Iron.
No, so
come on, speak up, dude.
Shit. So 10 years to develop the aspects. You know what? First, what I'd like to see, you got a trailer here.
Yep. Let me go ahead and play that for you.
I would love to take a look at that and then kind of dig into it a little more. sure you got your volume on there.
Can you guys hear it?
No. You might have to reshare. Make sure you got the audio button clicked. But
Yeah, that's really easy to miss. And also try to blow it up full screen so it's as big as we can see it.
Sure, I can
Yes,
do that.
please. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
All right, give me just a second. Here we go.
All right, while that's happening.
What up, Scream Queen in the chat? What up, Master
hey.
Swag King, Nadia?
Hello there. Hello there. Let me know when you're ready.
Angry Vulcan, Jason Clinton.
And tonight, there you go. Let me know when you're ready. You ready?
I am. It's not prompting me to share audio. That's fine with me. I'm not here to sell audio. I'm here to sell books.
All right, go full screen. That's the attitude.
There we go.
There we go.
I might be able to bring this up anyway. No problem. I think I already have it captured.
I don't hear any audio.
That's okay.
fine.
Oh, okay.
I'm good.
While this is playing, what can you?
Yep.
Maybe you could kind of narrate for us. Kind of tell us some of the backstory here. What we're looking at.
Sure. The book is kind of a gothic / eldritch kind of horror. That's also a character study. This character here, the blonde, the purple-haired lady, is named Kolga. She was part of something called the Biophile Initiative, which was a group of people ranging from all walks of life trying to rebel against this figure called God that has taken over their world. She is the last remaining member of the Biophile Initiative, and she is trying to escape from her past while the future catches up to her. So it's kind of like if you're into the video game Bloodborne or any kind of Lovecraftian horror, very much into that, while at the same time very Shakespearean in the same way. It's kind of a neo-noir.
Oh, gotcha. I was going to ask if that seems like it kind of falls a little bit into the horror genre.
Oh yeah,
comics.
a little bit of that.
That's what I'm liking.
Josh loves to do body horror, and he's fantastic at it. He's just an amazing artist. I can't speak enough of him. I can read the description right here. Keep it really quick and short. Biophile Kolga follows the second life of elusive heretic Kolga Goldcoin as she fights to ensure the powerful Eye of the Fallen doesn't fall into the wrong hands, which very much could be her own. The last surviving member of the blasphemous Biophile Initiative, Kolga has spent her life fighting God. What she believed to be her final mission has instead left her cursed with nigh eternal youth and memories of an unending hell. Now, along with her young ward June, she must navigate a world turned against her, taking on occult hordes, ancient witches, and God itself as her past races to meet her future. Magic, mystery, monsters, and mayhem. Oh my.
Here we go. Now we're on track.
There you go.
There we go. Nice.
Sounds very Tool. And
Yeah.
you know how I feel
Very
about
metal.
Tool.
Oh, I love Tool.
I
Absolutely
love Tool. I don't want to go into it very quickly, but two of the best concerts, the best times I've had in my life are Perfect Circle and Tool. And collectively, I paid probably $1,200 for both of those tickets. Not both, not individually, but total $1,200 for. Because I've got VIP sitting, because I refuse, as Iron well knows, to sit with the common people. Go on, Brian. Pardon my elitism.
It's all good. It's all good. None of us is perfect, you know.
Dan, if you would, I have a couple of questions here. Let me bring them
Sure.
up. Let me make sure that. Hold on a second. Let me lose that. All right. Let me bring up a couple of questions here. Here we go. Talk to us about your world building and how you developed your characters. what aspects of them are most important to you?
Well, world building for me, coincidentally, always starts with the characters. Anyone can dream up a fantasy realm, but if you don't have good characters, you don't have compelling characters or interesting characters, nobody cares.
Truth.
And that's usually where I start. I usually start with, my characters usually start with people I know. In the case of Kolga, she's based off of, personality-wise, she's based off several women I've known in my life, ranging from the good and the bad emotions in people. And we really wanted to tell a kind of a memoir story, in that it starts at the very end of her life. She is an old woman, but when she comes back from this last mission, her body has been restored to her youth, and that's kind of a curse for her. So by the end of this series, after like volume 5 or 6, it's kind of a eulogy for her in her life, as she's also battling these demonic forces and remembering her past. And you slowly unfold and you see the world through her eyes. And it's a very big world. Like I said, we've been building this universe for about 10 years, and it's got our first book we put out earlier this year. It funded really, really great, and people seem to have liked it. And we've got reviews for this one so far. People seem to like it. So my worldview and world building always comes through characters first.
Absolutely. That's cool. That's cool. The artwork is actually really amazing. Really amazing.
Josh is fantastic.
Yes.
So
all right.
I got a quick question.
Go ahead.
As far how during your guys' process, you write, he does the art.
Mhm.
Do you just send him the writing and then he illustrates to your writing, or do you kind of go a little bit back and forth? He'll send you some art and then you kind of write to that as well.
We do everything. We do everything hand in hand. We talk pretty much every day. To get personal, I hate telling this story, but it's necessary for it. 2020 was a hard year for us, but it's the year that lit a fire under our ass. We've been building this world. We've written an entire novel. That's a prose novel that'll be coming out maybe this year, maybe next year. It depends on how we want to release it. And 2020, I lost my brother to suicide. He lost some people.
Sorry
It's
to hear
fine.
that, man.
But that's what made us do it. And our friendship and everything in our work relationship just right after that. We talk almost every day, and Josh is a co-creator of this universe. I can't draw to save my life, but he's also a magnificent writer. He's written his own kind of universe before it, of horror and sci-fi. So to answer your question, it's a little bit of both. We do everything hand in hand, and we have no egos involved. I 100% tell him if I don't like something. He tells me if I don't like something.
Nice.
And
That's the attitude to have, right? Coolest idea always wins.
And he's also the artist. He gets final say 100% over the art. He gets to veto any art decisions, and I ultimately get to veto any story decisions, and we've never had to use those powers before.
That's great.
Nice.
As this thing goes on, man, what have been some of the biggest challenges you've had in creating this particular book? Is it fulfillment? Is it page development? And what's the biggest issue you've had so far with this campaign?
With this one, we probably set the campaign a little too short. We did 30 days. We probably should have done 60, but we really want to get it in hand, especially before Halloween. We've got some horror cons coming up. We make more money selling books at cons than we do usually on Indiegogo, and we love seeing people in person. We're both relatively young. We're both 40 or under. I mean, I've got 2 kids. That's probably the hardest part, is just getting anything done with 2 kids. But the easy part for me is writing. I can write pretty quickly, and I go on shows and talk to people. Josh is better at talking to people, but he does all the art. So I can't take too much credit for it being difficult when he does all the artwork.
Right.
Yeah, I will take my hat off to any comic book artist. You guys honestly do 99% of the work.
Seriously. I always feel that they should be the rock stars, because also if somebody picks up your book and they open it and the art makes them go, ugh. It doesn't matter how good your story is.
Right,
it's going right back on the shelf.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And Josh is an amazing artist, like I keep saying. And Michael, I just saw the chat there. Yeah, we have a fleshed out world, man. We've got a book we put out in January of this year called Apollyon 20XX. It actually takes place at the beginning of our universe. Right here, you can pick that up in the catch-up tier. You can get this. It's 185 pages black and white, and Kolga colored pages 100. All that for $35, $5 flat shipping. And
as a matter of fact, man, why don't you take a moment to go over your perks
Sure.
your goodies. Go ahead and do that while we set up the next segment. Go ahead.
Sure. The let me pull this up so I can actually see it. The perks over here, we keep them very simple. Usually we're not going to pay other artists. That's how we keep our books down and stuff like that. We have the physical catch-up tier where you get both physical books for $35. Again, that's about 300 pages. You probably won't find a better deal anywhere. $10 digital PDF of Biophile Kolga, $15 for the physical book. It's 100-page manga size. We wanted to make it kind of small so we could keep the price down. Full color, of course. The digital catch-up tier is also $15, so you get Apollyon and Kolga, 300 pages roughly for $15 digital. And we have a $25 physical, 2 copies of Kolga. You also get this right here as a postcard size little poster for the first 50 physical backers, because people really seemed to like this, and we weren't going to do alternate covers, but this did really well. We'll probably do something like this, like a card or a trading card or a poster of this later, because people really seem to like Josh's covers. This is our first book.
Is he a tattoo artist by any chance?
No, he does do shoes though. He has colored shoes for people and design things. He also works for a company called Legacy Comics, which is another indie publisher. He does a lot of work for them. Fantastic artist, like I said. In this book, Apollyon, like I said, that's a catch up. We got volume 2 of this coming out into this year, and Kolga volume 2 will be out next spring. We've got, and like I said, we've got this whole universe planned out. We've got more titles coming out, but these 2 will be out every year. Back to back to back. We're working very hard. Whenever you purchase from us, you will get this book is 100% done. Our fulfillment for Apollyon was, I think, 10 days from the end of campaign to get to people's hands.
Hang on a second. You said the book is 100% done. Mm-hmm. That means it will ship on time.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
It should hopefully ship. Like I said, it should be 10 days if we get it as quick as we did Apollyon from the printer. We are really hell bent on that.
So is it going to ship like at the end of the campaign, or?
Oh yeah, in a few days.
But ultimately, what you're saying is not going to ship 2, 3, 4, 5 years late. Is that what you're saying?
Of course not.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can support this campaign. I like my books to be 5 or 6 years late. Anyway, moving on.
Aged like fine wine.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Anyway,
I put my comics
drama free, folks.
and then I release them.
Drama free. Go on. Didn't mean to interrupt you there, Dan. Go ahead.
It's okay. No, I would encourage people, take a chance on it. We've got great reviews so far, and they're all from people we don't know. We post them occasionally on our X. You can just search. Thank God we have enough videos now that you can just search GODFOE Universe or Biophile Kolga. You can find us on YouTube, internet. We're the only thing that pops up. We have our website, godfoeuniverse.com. There's free stuff to read on there. There's about 150, 200 pages of in-world writings, poetry, and like photography that goes along with our first book, Apollyon. We want people to have a great experience. Like we of course, we want to make money, of course, but I mean, I'm in IT. If I want to make 6 figures, that's easy. We really want to create art. We are all going to die one day, and we want to have a purpose, and we want to make things that don't suck for people.
What profound, sir! I actually want to put that on my headstone. What you just
Seriously.
said. Here we go with the ABC Barbara Walters special question. What are some of the what are there any specific artists or writers who have influenced your work? And I'm very curious about this because your work is unusual yet beautiful. Go ahead.
My writing work, I wish I could have said him earlier, but right now, Dostoevsky. He's probably the greatest writer I've ever read. The way
that wasn't on my bingo card.
I'll get to the comic writers. Right now, that guy hit me in the soul when I picked up his books. He really deserves probably greatest writer of all time. I do have a strange kind of background in comics. Like I said, I grew up with everything from Spider-Man to Spawn and everything in between. But the guys who really pushed me to be a writer in comics were Dave Sims from Cerebus and Matt Wagner from Grendel. Both of their writing styles I absolutely loved, especially Matt Wagner. He's a great artist and a great writer. He's got scope that no one can match. I wish I could match that guy's vision.
I know.
Yeah. and he's still going. Dude's been doing this since like the 80s.
Wow, dude. I am definitely buying your stuff. Matt Wagner is I'm a huge fan of Matt Wagner.
You too.
Huge.
Red.
Man.
Mage was my childhood.
Mage,
dude.
Batman
Grendel.
versus Grendel, fantastic stuff. And of course, Frank Miller. Of course, I've got Sin City stacked right here, and you got the classic. I think Batman Year One is probably one of the best Batman stories ever written.
Absolutely, no argument there.
And I'll go on record and say I think Frank Miller was the better comic writer than Alan Moore. And
hell yeah!
And one way you can tell that is because they don't have to change Frank Miller's stories when they make them in the movies.
100% agree. Could not agree more, boys. I'm looking at our count, our view count. This show's gonna do just fine.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Remember when I said 3 months, 6 months, 1 year? Well, let's talk 3. We're doing better numbers than we did on the weekend, ladies and gentlemen. We appreciate everybody who's watching. This show's gonna do just fine. Just fine. You listen to the old Mac Daddy, you listen to old Mr. Burger, you get the views. All right, here we go. Continuing. Iron, go ahead and hit him with a couple more questions there, will you?
All right, sure. Let's see here.
We're pulling up the interview stuff. Smooth.
Okay, this is a good one. This is something I'm definitely curious about with all you guys. Actually, is how do you approach the marketing that goes into the comic, especially in the crowded market?
We go from cold to hot.
The crowded market or the crowdfunding market?
Crowdfunded. I said that too fast.
I've done.
Indeed, you did.
He goes into the most
DMs.
Crowded markets in Chinatown, and he just
throws
throws books.
Going into those crowded flea markets, and well, you said you sell a lot of your books at horror conventions, so the cons are pretty
horror and Comic Cons, anything we can get into.
Now, I can definitely see this doing really well at the horror conventions. I'm a huge
absolutely.
I try to go to both, but
me too.
Horror conventions.
I gotta make a horror book.
I would encourage comic creators, like we've gone to little pop-ups at coffee shops, and we went to one at a church that had us a flea market. If you go to places like that is 99% women and female products like soap and mat baskets, their husbands and sons are looking for something to do.
Yeah.
I sold hundreds of dollars on our last campaign. On a campaign, someone just signed up and paid tons because I set up a poly in 20XX at like one of these things where all they had was like baskets and soap. The men all lined up.
Nice.
What else are they gonna do?
Dude, that's some
You are a genius,
grassroots.
young man.
I can't
some
believe I
grassroots
never.
stuff.
I
thought
know
of
it's
that.
so obvious too. Damn.
Yeah.
What would
Those
you
really
do?
Obvious
You
ideas that you
got to go there with
But
your
the
girl.
problem is with other comic creators, it's like, oh, you mean actually go somewhere around people?
Yeah.
No, but it's true because it's like
Sunlight.
I realized because I would market to a lot of my friends and people in my personal life who don't read comics, and because of that, it is the coolest comic they've ever seen by default.
Right.
But it is the coolest comic they've ever seen, and I think that's people need to. I think that's one of the things we could do. Once you get the books in hand, print extra ones. Obviously, give the backers special stuff, right? Mm-hmm. But then print extra ones, and then get creative. Like, what's the worst case scenario? The idea doesn't work.
To be
fair, the alternative of sitting in that convention or that basket place does sound horrible. But if you can convince me it can make me money,
you'll get some bad looks. I mean, I set up a TV and I run like our trailers and stuff, of course. So there's blood and guts and going, and every woman is like scowling at it. Some of them are nice, and of course the director will come up and be like, "Hey, you have everything you need. Everything's okay." He's like, "Yeah, I'm good. I know you don't want me here. I'm good." But the men, every single one lined up, boys from 6, men 80-year-old. I had this one guy come over from England. He was like 80 years old, and he started talking to me about my last name and how it was Welsh, and then he went into an anti-Semitic tirade. So it was a fun day.
You meet all kinds of people at conventions.
You do. And this was like basket weaving or whatever it was.
Right.
Well, thank God for that, folks. Not only do you get good information here and entertainment, but techniques and tips that you never thought you could actually use. Basket weaving conventions, an absolute gold mine for comic creators. I'm gonna get
I
that
didn't even
printed
know
on a
there were
T-shirt.
basket weaving.
Well, it was like
Honestly.
like an art trade fair thing. You know what I mean? No one knows
See,
that.
and that's kind of what I was
Yeah.
thinking.
Yeah.
There was one in this one little town I lived in back in the middle of the country. It was called like the Dogwood Festival or something like that. It was a mix of
Yeah,
kind of a
hippie shit.
Renaissance fair / a hippie, a hippie art convention. But I didn't see any comics, but now that would make perfect sense because people were selling other stuff there too.
Well, and I kind of got the idea because, like I said, it was our church. But other than that, like we went to some festival at our town downtown. And I was like, okay, it's like a art thing, like, and it's huge, like it's a big art town. And I was like, oh man, maybe they'll have something cool. And of course, there was nothing cool. So I just ended up eating cookies that somebody made because there's nothing for me there. It's like, okay, I'm not going to find any anime or manga or comics or anything or action figures here. So it's like, well, somebody needs to do that. And I meant to tell you, you look like a bounty hunter from the future.
Thank you.
It's like the room, especially when you were vaping. I was like, good Lord, this guy's going to kill Sarah Connor.
How do you know I haven't already?
Because we're all still here.
Right.
True.
Dan, Dan, I really appreciate that information dump you gave to people. That's awesome. And Vaughn's right. You're a freaking genius. Nobody would have thought of that. And I guarantee it definitely would work.
Go where
that's one of
go where it's not.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Dan.
Go where it's not crowded.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's one of the things that we've always traditionally done in this indie space is we learn from each other. Right. One of us will sometimes try something and
it doesn't work.
It works,
or
if it works, then we all copy it. Right. And if it doesn't, okay, well, somebody tried it and gave it a shot. So
that's actually
spirit.
It's actually pretty similar. It's kind of a coincidence. I was just watching earlier today a little mini documentary about Eastman and Laird and how they got TMNT, the comics, way before they even had the toy ambition going.
Yep.
But they did a lot of the same thing. They went to the different comic book stores, even just regular bookstores, just setting up, trying to push along the extra issues they had until after that finally sold out. Then they got the request and they had to keep re-releasing that first issue, and it just kept selling out after that. But it was because word of mouth, even just locally, and then it took off.
Oh, we've done consignment,
nothing beats
and stuff like that. We've done consignment and sold out. I mean, we'll sell like 3 to 5 because I mean the first book's big; it's like 200 pages almost. And we've sold out at various local comic stores.
Nice.
Awesome.
Excellente. Brian, go ahead and get your stuff ready to go to share. You are more than welcome, Dan, to stick around. We'd love to have you. We're going to talk about Brian's book. We're going to talk about UFOs, hauntings, and other real weird phenomenon, and probably ask a couple of questions about classic movies and werewolves, elves, and fairies. With Vaughn ending out the show doing terribly at music trivia.
Oh snap!
So as we go along, we're gonna do a few questions towards everybody. But Brian, it's your time to shine. Here we go. Tell us about this. Your book there, Brian.
All right. The elevator pitch for Six Gun Gorilla has always been a very big ape with very big guns blowing very big holes in very bad people. It's basically a revenge western with a gorilla.
I absolutely love this concept.
Fucking sold. That was the easiest sales pitch.
I think the sales pitch and plot are in the title.
Very much so. And to tell the truth, anybody that could like walk by my book and not at least want to pick it up and check it out, I don't understand that cat at all. What up, Matt? Sup?
My good friend Matt Barr.
Hail, Matt Barr.
Devastated.
Hail, Matt Barr.
What up, Debbie? Yeah, so I mean, I've been doing this book for about 11 years, I think. My very first convention was at New York Comic Con. Back in, I think it was about 10 or 11 years ago. And we sold out 400 copies in the first 2 days.
Damn, dude.
Yeah. And so that was very encouraging. And then the reviews started coming in, and the reviews were uniformly great. And I didn't expect that at all, because this isn't me being braggadocious when I talk about like the fact that everybody loves this book. It just seems like everybody who reads this book loves this book. That's just how it worked out. I wrote the thing to just entertain myself. I always feel like you should be, not aiming. The audience that you should be writing your book for is yourself. Otherwise, you're going to be pandering to a particular audience.
That was
Hail Camel Moon, hail student of God, hail Camel Moon.
No, he does not.
Hail student of
No, he
God.
does not.
Oh
Camel
man,
Moon.
you have to add a scene like that.
No, he doesn't speak, because people are also asking like,
wow,
well, does he talk?
so he's a terrible person then. He should
I'm
be
like,
canceled.
but it's just like people are like, well, does he speak? I'm like, no,
never-
this is not a Hanna-Barbera cartoon.
You know what's funny is I have heard you pitch this book so many times, and the thought never once occurred to me that he doesn't speak. Now it's like, of course he doesn't speak. He's a gorilla. Never once did it run through my head.
He doesn't speak because it's a Western.
Right. Well, the Man with No Name was pretty laconic.
What about Ethan Edwards spoke? I'm trying my best here, guys, to keep you up with the fellow Westerners.
You're doing perfectly fine. You're still learning, young man. You're still
What's his name in
educational stages.
Man,
Did you guys catch Horizon? Kevin Costner's the thing.
No,
No, I did not. No, I did not. And Brian, you're only 2 years older than Vaughn. Knock it off. Go ahead.
Yeah,
go
I
ahead.
wish.
Go ahead, Dan. What about Horizon?
I've never
Oh, I
heard
mean,
of
I
Horizon.
watched it the other night from like 11 to 2 a.m. Absolutely loved it. It felt like an hour long instead of 3. I thought it was great.
And it's only
awesome.
part 1? God damn.
I know.
I need to fix my attention span, dude. It's really bad.
Well, first, you young man, you need to deal with the classics. You need to get into like your John Ford.
John
your
Ford, I've
Howard
gotten into
Hawks.
a bit. Howard Hawks, I've watched a bit of. So I've seen the first Dollars movie. So I've seen Fistful of Dollars. I haven't
Hell
seen
yeah.
$2 More, and I haven't seen Good, Bad, and the Ugly yet. But I've loved
Yeah.
The Searchers is my number 1.
It's a great one.
Searchers is badass.
Yeah, it is.
Searchers,
Searchers
I
is
love
great.
Rio Bravo.
Real Bravo's awesome.
I like God. What am I?
Man Who Shot Liberty Valance.
Yes.
Yes.
Perfect. Same time. Yeah. Man Who Shot Liberty Valance. And then I know it's not the same era, but Tombstone. I adore Tombstone. Butch Cassidy.
Tombstone
and the
is
Sundance
Everybody
Kid.
does.
Yeah, Tombstone
Greatest
most
movies
quoted
just
movie
ever.
ever.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Butch
Yeah.
Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
one.
God, I'm trying to think of more, but yeah, I mean those are my top. I'm Blazing Saddles. I'm counting Blazing Saddles. Screw it.
Shane. Have you seen
Shane is
yet?
good. Shane is
Shane
good.
is fantastic.
Shane is good. I'm trying to think of some of the other ones. I've seen like some of the other ones. I've seen some of the Howard Hawk ones, or I've seen Red River.
El Dorado. That's a
I
really
can't
good
believe I'm drawing a blank on Rooster Cogburn. It's one of my most favorite movies.
Oh,
Somebody help me out
yes.
with this.
True Grit.
one. The sequel
True
to
Grit.
Yeah.
I'm ashamed of myself. That's like one of my I watched it about a week ago. The new one. I love the old one. I love the new one. True
They're
Grit
both
is
great.
just fantastic.
I haven't seen it
Rooster
yet.
Cogburn is just an unforgettable character.
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic.
Did you guys see Bone Tomahawk?
Oh,
My mom
yes.
did. I've never watched it.
Awesome.
My mom.
That's a good
did.
one.
I've been recommended that because my favorite Western of all times is High Plains Drifter.
Yeah,
Let's
Mm,
get
nice
the
choice.
supernatural Western into it.
Yeah.
So I've heard Bone Tomahawk has a little bit of that supernatural stuff to it. I
Actually,
don't know.
doesn't have the supernatural angle.
Yeah.
It's got something else that I don't want to spoil for you.
It turns
Okay.
into a horror
Purely
movie
natural,
by the
but it
end.
does turn into a horror movie.
All
Absolutely.
right, I need
Okay,
to see
And a
that.
balls out horror movie at that.
Dude,
Yeah,
I've loved
nice.
like Kurt Russell is great.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, this cast. I mean, I've been meaning. I've been so bad with watching movies lately. But,
That's okay. You're
but
young.
that
You
is
got time.
one. Yeah. What is another one? God. I mean, I want.
How many-
I have a list of ones I want to see, and it always. Every time it's like a Hydra. Every time I watch one, they're like, "Oh, here's 5 more." I'm like, "Oh my god, no!"
But you see, that's the great thing about the internet these days. If you want to explore a genre or a subgenre,
oh, it's easier than ever.
It's easier than ever because you can go and get the general consensus of like what the 10 or 20 essential films are. Like with
Yeah.
spaghetti westerns, I always tell people go to the spaghetti western database. They've got a top 20 there. Watch those, right? Although what I usually tell people is watch all the Leone movies, right?
Okay.
Once Upon a Time in the West, especially. And then after that, start checking out stuff by Corbucci, stuff by Sergio Salima. Generally speaking, if the director's name is Sergio, watch it.
Oh,
Folks, if you want the feel of the great westerns, True Grit, The Searchers, Tombstone, why don't you pick yourself up a copy of Six Gun Gorilla? This man's working his heart out. The hardest working man and the slightly most bald man in the comic book business. So support this guy. It's a great book. Look at it. It's
Everybody loves it.
fantastic. It's fantastic.
Let me go to the reviews here. And once again, this is not me being braggadocious. This is me being very, very, very grateful. Because when we put our books out, we don't know if they're going to connect with people or not. I had a feeling that this book would connect with certain people. I had a feeling it would connect with certain people a lot, right? But I didn't think that the audience was that broad. And I think why people really connect with it is because it's very sincere. We live in an age where a lot of our mainstream entertainment is, quite frankly, nihilistic, right? And everything's always winking at you, and everything's very meta, right? I wanted to write something that was very straightforward, very simple, and very sincere, and emotional. And for some reason, I didn't set out to do this, but what I seem to excel at as a writer is taking really silly premises and then telling serious stories with them. And it seems to be working. I couldn't be happier with the reaction I've gotten to this book. Chuck Dixon gave me a beautiful review here. Mike Barron gave me a beautiful review. Joe R. Lansdale, he was the first guy to read the book outside of like my immediate circle. And he came back from a movie set where they were shooting a movie based on one of his books. And it wasn't Bubba Hotep. But he took the time to like send me this review and tell me like, yeah, dude, I read your book. Like, I really loved it. So, yeah. Don't just take their word. You can go to the campaign page and you can download the entire first issue, a digital copy PDF, by clicking on the link right here. I always believe in giving the consumer a chance to kick the tires and make sure that this is something that is up their alley, right? It shows confidence in your product, and also it works on the principle of, drug dealers know this. The first one is always for free. And I have a feeling.
Well said, sir. Well said.
So
what a metaphor. Go on.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because I think of all the great comic books that I fell in love with as a child and as a young man. And, I've had a lifelong relationship with comic books. I started reading comics I started reading with comic books. I think comic books pretty much taught me how to read. Comics are the reason why I had a college level vocabulary in the 6th grade. And, my teachers would be like, wait a second, you don't know the meaning of this word. What does this word mean that you just wrote? I'd be like, loquacious? Oh, it means talkative. Right? And they would look at me funny and go, okay, go sit down. And they would just be completely dumbfounded. But the reason I could do that was because when I sat down with my comics, I had a dictionary right next to me. And it's not because I was trying to improve my vocabulary.
Because you wanted to understand the comics.
Right. And I wanted to know what if Reed Richards or Doctor Strange or Doctor Doom used a word that I didn't understand. I had to look that shit up right quick because what they were saying was important to me. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I really sincerely doubt that any of the mainstream comics that are coming out these days are captivating children, really captivating anybody. The way that those comics did.
Actually, it's basically anybody, Ryan. Anybody.
Yeah. They're horrible. They're horrible.
They're awful. Unless you want to see closeted homosexuals go to an X-Men fashion gala.
Oh my God.
So there you go.
Oh.
Nobody
Oh.
wants that.
Rules of dialogue
Yeah.
don't actually say anything.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Brian. Go ahead, Brian. We're going to
go ahead, Brian.
wrap it up, and then we'll get on to a bit of Phenomenon and then to Vaughn. Go ahead.
Oh, I just really quickly wanted to play the trailer and see
Go ahead.
if that will work here.
Doesn't I got one? I got one.
Do you guys have sound?
No.
Nope, no
No.
sound.
Damn it. Okay.
Let me grab it right quick. Talk
Okay.
amongst yourselves.
Thank you.
Let me talk amongst yourselves.
I
Whilst
boomered
I-
before you did, Ryan. Don't feel bad.
All right, so you
I
do
know,
everything.
I was here for it. Oh yeah, one of the things I wanted to mention too. The campaign you can get. This is for the Volume 2 trade paperback, which collects issues 7 through 10. I'm hoping that we're going to be able to fulfill by late October. I'm thinking the final pages are coming in by my great friend and collaborator Preston Acevedo. He did this absolutely fantastic cover for issue number 9. And we also have, for the Volume 2 trade paperback, a Fun My Comic exclusive cover by John Dillard.
Oh, DJ. Oh,
yeah,
Dillard.
boy. I hit him up,
Indeed.
and he made this absolutely magnificent, beautiful piece for me. So you can get
magnanimous and wonderful. Magnanimous and
Yes.
wonderful.
Yes. And here's a cover by my boy Simon Sim Poitier, who based this on the poster for a spaghetti western that's a favorite of mine called Day of Anger.
Yeah, but Dillard will be on the show soon. I think in September. Let's play this here.
He's a great guy. He's a great guy. Oh, and also really quick.
Sorry. Wait. Let me get back to it. There you
Someone needs to drop links in chat.
go. Yes.
At least one moderator. I can do it, or if you want someone else to.
Yeah, you need to wrench people.
Let me see. Vaughn, can you? I'll give you a wrench here real quick.
Yeah. Everyone drop the links in private chat.
Oh, okay. You did? Drop them in
No,
private chat. I'll do it this time. But next time we'll be ready. And I'll make you a mod. I'll make you both you and Brian a mod.
Drop links so I can do it.
And I just wanted to point out this 3D printed figurine. The people that backed the previous campaign had to wait almost 2 years for one of these from me, right? So when I finally got rescued by my good friend, the aforementioned Simon Sim Poitier, he printed these for me, and everybody who backed one got 2 and a written apology from yours truly for their lateness. Our backers are the
customer service.
Damn right.
Customer service.
Damn right. Well, because first of all, even if you're an a-hole, it's the smart thing to do. I like to think I am not an a-hole because I have genuine affection.
Look! Hey!
Literally,
watch out! We're getting real close to drama here. Watch out now! Look out!
So I appreciate the people who literally make my dreams come true.
It's crazy, dude. How much, seriously? I mean, the fact that people are willing to spend money. I guess
blows your mind, right?
On a
it makes you just feel
heard
grateful.
Of. Yeah.
And I'm grateful to be working with the great Preston Acevedo. My original artist, Adrian Sipar, unfortunately, is no longer with us. So he did issues 1 through 7, and Preston has done issues 8 and 9 and 10. And Save My Bacon. And he is, what can I say, the most underrated artist in our scene. His work is nothing short of spectacular. And anybody that's been sleeping on him, guess what? You're about to get a wake up call, because he is ready to blow up big. I'm not gonna. I have a non-official NDA. Can't say anything, but yeah, he's got. Yeah, no, we have big things coming up too.
All right, excellent. Vaughn, give me 1 second here, and I'm gonna have you get you a wrench, and Brian, I'm gonna get you a wrench.
Thanks,
And
bro.
maybe even a couple other people wrenches. But Vaughn, let's bring you up and let you share your screen here. Let me get back over to the tab. Wow, I'm working hard today. Let me get you back over to the tab here. Share your screen, bring up your stuff, and we'll get you talking while I set everything up. Then we'll get into the phenomenon. Then we'll get into the trivia, and then we'll wrap it up. Okay.
Right,
By the way, I've got something here that nobody can explain. And I've also got something here that I've actually seen. I've actually seen it. It will explain a lot. Oh, David D. David D is here. Thank Christ. David D. I'm going to drop some stuff into the chat. Share it, will you?
Yeah, it's got to get my sharing the links. That's key, because people do not like going to the description. I know that because I'm one of them, where people are lazy. And that's also okay. People want things that are convenient. You know, I'm just.
Oh yeah. No, I'm a lazy motherfucker like myself that way, so I get it, right? But also, just really quick, I just wanted to mention, folks, if you can't back any of these books, please share the links.
Yeah.
Because if you don't think that makes a difference, you're wrong. It makes a tremendous difference, and it doesn't cost you nothing. And it's just like click, 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 right? A couple of mouse clicks, and you can make a big difference to indie comics creators.
And another thing I will say, if you like a book, make sure you say something about it on some socials, even in stream chat, something. Like if you like someone's stuff, that makes a huge difference too, you know.
Nothing is better than word of mouth. Nothing.
You know, I've backed books just strictly from creators I don't really know that well, based on just word of mouth. People people reading the book and telling me, Vaughn, you would really like this, check it out. You know, that stuff is also crucial. Do you want me to share my own screen, or should
Yeah, share your own screen, please.
You got it.
Let me know when it's there.
All right, I'm gonna share. It's also available on INDIEGOGO as well. So if you guys prefer INDIEGOGO, make sure you back it on there. But,
all right, hit us, Vaughn. Go ahead.
So, I think Phenomenova issue 1 Lightning Strikes follows the idealistic son of a war hero set 20 years after World War III, as he is struck by lightning while holding a mysterious crystal and finds himself awakening with lightning powers and super speed. He says he wants to use those powers to set out and become a superhero inspired by those that came before him. However, his first mission leads him to a nuclear reactor where he comes face to face with a supervillain that is way beyond his current capabilities of defeating. So this is 65 pages. I was inspired heavily by Sam Raimi's Spider-Man movie when I was little, and then that continued to evolve and evolve and evolve. I love, Chris Claremont's X-Men run is really what made me decide to read comics. I love Stan Lee's Spider-Man, Marv Wolfman, George Perez, Teen Titans. There's so many great books that I pull from. I really pull from like everything I can. Often I'll find stuff that I didn't even realize I pull from. But I overall, what I'm most motivated by is just bring back and tell a great ongoing superhero story, filmed with the idealism and hope that we need in an age of nihilism and cynicism. This is a story that's a reconstruction of the superhero genre in an age of deconstruction. And
you guys are wrenched. Both of you guys are wrenched. Go.
All right, so the main cover is going to be available after the campaign as well. It's not limited, but it's $20. And then you've got the first cover by my friend Sukeisha Ray. We've got the Final Fantasy VII homage cover.
That.
That's so
This
cool.
one is very, very popular.
I love that so much.
Badass.
And you know what? I was at the gym and I was like, the new game was coming out, and I was like, wait a minute. I literally have a moment that I reference in the script, that moment in Final Fantasy VII, and the cover, right, where he goes to the reactor. And I was like, I have a futuristic reactor, a blonde character looking up at it. Why have I not come up with a Final Fantasy VII cover? What am I doing? I'm a fraud. And so I go, Jules, who had just finished doing the day one trading card, she had just finished this art, And she's a fellow Final Fantasy VII fan. I was like, hey, if I give you this cover idea, can you knock it out? She's like, yeah, I got it. So she killed it on this cover. Then, of course, Rini gave me great script feedback. And very good friend of mine. And then I asked her, what do you want to draw from the script? Like, what's something you like? And she came up with this. And I was like, boom. And she just totally killed it. And then she did. I saw that I was like, I didn't know you do colors. I'll pay you to do the colors. So I did that. Just totally did all of it. So these three artists all penciled, inked, and colored their work. And then, of course, we got Buzz, my final one, my only virgin cover. Buzz, who did Vengeance of Vampirella in the 90s. He did some just JSA stuff with Hawkman, the early 2000s. Great guy, great friend of mine. He did this cover, colored by Dash Martin. So all the variant covers are going to be limited to campaigns. You could get them on Indiegogo or Fund My Comic, but either way, they will be a limited printing. Once they're out, they are out. And then, of course, we got this one, this mini print right here. So this mini print is going to be free. Everyone gets it. So no matter where you back, the stretch goals are cumulative. So if you back on Indiegogo, it still affects the Fund My Comic backers, the Kickstarter backers. Everyone gets the same goals. The only difference is on Fund My Comic, you get this mini print for free, guaranteed. In addition, like I said, you get this mini print for free. And you get a trading card of our main villain, Dark Cloud, for free. And if we hit 20K, we are at 16,000, I think 16,200. If we hit 20K,
Sweet.
by the time we wrap, you will get another trading card by this same art team of this character right here, our Knight in Shining Armor. So every backer leads to everyone benefiting. So if you've already backed, make sure you tell other people to back, to get on that train. If you want...
Hold on a second, Vaughn. Hold on a second. Student of God, you have a wrench now. You're managing mod. Brian, you have a wrench. Start dropping your link. And Vaughn, you are a wrench now. Start dropping your links. Student of God, you are a manager along with David D. Go on, Vaughn. I'm sorry to interrupt.
What's the difference between manager and...
They have more privileges.
Okay.
Way more privileges.
Okay. Well, so yeah, that's what the story is. And already issue 2 is 9 pages inked. All 3 covers for issue 2 are done. So issue 2 is going to be 24 pages. But issue 1, I wanted to give you a chonky boy. So
yeah. I think that's a great idea, because when you come strong out of the gate, you don't want people to just get a 24-page story or a 40-page story.
Yeah.
You're doing things right, young man. Vaughn got it going on.
Oh yeah. Well, in all honesty, I was just like, this is what the story requires. It was 3 issues at one point. And,
so
yeah.
how hard was it to get this thing off the ground? Like finding artists, finding everybody you needed to work with.
Well, I'm much better at it now, but here's the thing you got to learn is you got to realize it's not as simple as writing, and even then writing is something you have to keep learning over and over and over and over and over again, because there's various stages of it. And now now that I've done it once, painstakingly made a lot of mistakes. I'm better at it, but I mean, I remember I had literally notebook pages full of artists, talking to them. And then I finally found my guy, interviewed him recently, and I was like, I found Philip, and I just knew this is my guy. This is him. And then I was like, okay, I really like this art. He liked my script. He was ready to get to work. So I was like, let me get back to you on that. And I rewrote it again, because I was like, his art is so good. My script needs to be better. I'm not paying for, I was like, I'm not giving him like a good script. I'm giving him a great script if he's going to deliver art of that caliber,
Yeah.
And also, to be honest, I don't feel like charging someone. If I want to make sure I'm giving you the best product I'm capable at this time. And I'm noticing, I was writing issue 6 yesterday because I'm writing ahead. And I'm like, oh my God, my writing is so much better. I was looking at some of my old drafts, and there were scenes I'm like, I was cooking. But then there were scenes I'm like, why is this conversation?
Try it now, student of God.
I was like,
Try it now, student of God. Go ahead, Vaughn. Keep going.
I was like, why am I talking for 3 pages about nothing? And now that's part of being a better writer is I've learned to condense and condense and condense.
Get rid of everything that doesn't move the scene, doesn't move the story forward.
Unless it's really good.
You can have character moments, right?
Yeah.
That sort of a thing. You need that stuff too. But, try to
Yeah.
keep it snappy. At least that's what's worked for me. But the process that you're going through, that is the writer's process. You learn by doing. It's
Publisher's process too. Marketing,
right? Yes.
Building an audience so that way people actually pay for your product. It's one thing to make it, but all the while you're marketing it. All the while you're building your audience. So it took a lot of work. Starting an LLC, making sure you have good contracts for people, so you don't get screwed. I mean, luckily everyone I've worked has been amazing anyway, but I'm like, you never know.
Yeah.
So it's better to be safe than sorry. Learning, oh my God, there's tons of stuff, man. Sometimes changing character names, logo, like character designs. There's all kinds of stuff you have to learn.
Yeah.
And really keep that drive going, but don't rush out your first issue. You know,
no.
You want to get a fast move on your second, because you want, when people are excited, you don't want their excitement to die down. I don't know. I guess I'll have more advice when my second issue actually comes out. I'm just preemptively like, here's what I think is going to be my advice.
Well, that's what's great about being part of a community too, is that there's always somebody that came before us, and then as we're learning from them, we can then pass that knowledge down to the people that are coming in the door behind us, and rising tide lifts all ships.
Absolutely.
Hello there. Did everybody freeze?
Oh no.
Okay, I froze
so.
for a second.
Oh, okay.
I am,
Student of God, I wrenched you on mine too, but you're wrenched over manager wrench over on Mr. Burger's channel. Because I saw, that's why you didn't see it. He was in mine.
okay.
And he's right. Mike Barron will throw something funny in pretty much every issue, even if it's like a really dark issue of Nexus.
Yeah, Mike Barron. Because I read Nexus and I was like, oh my God, this is like pretty funny. Because it's dealing with like a universe-altering threat, and the way he's able to just like throw humor in there is great.
Yeah.
Gentlemen,
Narwhal
this
is
is what
also
we're
great,
going to
man.
end up creating for you, Dan. The short X promo. It looks a little something like this. Basically, we're going to clip it down and kind of create it so that it runs a little bit quicker. It starts off like that. Now, of course, it froze. There we go. But it starts off like that. It intros like that. And then we get on with clips from the book and with narration and all that kind of stuff. We usually try and keep these about 30 seconds because people basically, you get more interaction when they're a little bit shorter. We run them just like a commercial. And we're going to run those 3 times in a week, but it'll circulate. I mean, it'll be seen more than that. And then we run them 3 times the following week. So we push and push and push to see how much traction we can get. And then we set up to do it again, basically, potentially every month until you die. So that's pretty much the way we go. Every creator on here, I've done one for Vaughn, I've done one for Brian, I've done one for several people. And it's not that we don't want to use yours, but we clip it down, but we want to keep it very, very short. Mm-hmm. And we always attach the links to your campaigns, and we get this stuff out there so people can share it. And like I said, we've gotten very, very good traction in the thousands. So be prepared for that within the next 24 to 72 hours. So, okay, that's what we do. We're going to rerun Vaughn's. We're going to rerun Brian's this week as well. All right, here we go. Now, folks, to something that's a little bit off base for everybody here. Let's get into some weird shit. And I hope by this crowd, you can definitely tell they like weird shit. So here we go. Let's get into a bit of music trivia first. With this not so classic tune from 1995. Here we go, folks. Name that tune for our contestants. Dan, there's a t-shirt in it for you. Here we go. Oh, wait a minute. This is the 1995 one. Well, we'll just go with it. Yeah, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. It's not. Here we go. I need the title and artist in the chat. Title and artist in the chat. As always, Iron will select a winner at the end of it, and we'll give one away. Plus, we'll give one to our panelists. Any ideas what the name of that song is?
It's I Can Dream About You, right? From Streets of Fire, the Streets of Fire soundtrack.
Who sings
That's the
it?
first thing I thought of too.
That I can't tell you. I can't remember. I could look it up real quick, but I'm not
I
gonna.
have no idea.
I'm not gonna cheat.
I
see.
will be surprised if he was right.
You know, I've
First
never
one out of
seen
the
Streets of
gates.
Fire, and I need to.
I actually got to see it on a big screen. They showed it at the local Alamo Draft House.
Oh yeah.
Got to see that on a big screen. That's an awesome movie.
I seldom disagree with my brother from another color, Brian. I seldom disagree. I hate that movie.
It's amazing. It's
I
amazing.
hate that
It's
film.
so good.
What movie
When's
is
the last
Streets of
time you
Fire?
saw it, Mr. Berger? When's the last
About
time you saw
15 years ago.
it? Okay, give it another try.
I will indeed. And listen, I am a huge fan of Rick Moranis,
Dan Hartman.
but no, that was, of course, Dan Hartman. I Can Dream About You. Blah 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 blah. I Can Dream About You. Dan Hartman from the soundtrack of Streets of Fire. Let's move on, shall we? And just excuse Brian's insanity. Let's see.
Dare you? Classic. It's classic. Michael Paré is a little wooden. He's the only thing that's wrong with that movie, but everything else.
His delivery is literally painful. They used it to torture Al Qaeda members.
Dude, you know what's funny
is
is I
awesome in that.
I
Don't
haven't thought of
Paxton
this
come
guy
in
in
there?
years because Michael Pare is in a movie called Komodo
Philadelphia
versus,
Experiment.
No, from Komodo vs. Cobra, which is a horrible
Man.
film
That
that I was
is
a
a
fan
good one
of.
that he's in. But it's like whenever he's in a
But I
movie that
liked it when I
doesn't
was
suck.
little.
If he's in a movie and it doesn't suck, it's in spite of him. You know what I'm saying?
All right, let's get more into some actual music. Here we go. Name that tune and the artist, if you will. Classic.
AC/DC Money Talk.
Dan didn't waste any time. There. So far, Dan has pulled ahead with one. That is, of course, give it to us again, Dan.
AC/DC Money Talk.
All right, there we go. There we go. There we go.
Wait, so are we guessing one at a time, or are we all supposed to be guessing?
Everybody can chime in, and it's just based upon Iron will give the. Iron will decide who comes in first. Essentially, folks, but first I need to say, ladies and gentlemen, that's kids, young people, any young people that are watching, those are what you call men. Okay?
Yes.
I know you don't see a lot of those around nowadays, but those are actually men. That's what a man looks and sounds like.
Yeah, man.
See,
Okay.
see the short guy in the schoolboy uniform? That's a man.
Right?
Yep. Well, I mean, Brian Johnson, not as good as
Bon
why am I
Scott.
blank?
Bon Scott.
Yeah, not as good as Bon Scott, but pretty awesome. Pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Now,
Pretty man.
someone in the
Raunchy
chat
voice.
needs to
Raunchy.
type in fast. There we go. Okay, Emily got it.
God bless Emily. I feel better when she's here. Here we go. Next one.
Title and artist in the chat fast.
Oh, Painkiller. Judas Priest.
You already said it, but
It's a
Judas
banger.
Yeah, man. What he said.
That is
That
my
was a
favorite
banger.
metal album of all time.
Yeah,
Really
mine
good
too.
one.
I was a really big fan of what was it called again?
Painkiller. Judas
Uh,
Priest.
That
Yeah, when I was back in
uh,
the '90s, when I was
that was Winger.
Yes, 17 by
Striker.
Winger. That's what it was.
yeah. Of course, my
Again,
memory is
even
slipped.
though one of the guys in there is actually gay, they're still men. He's more of a man than the men today. So there you
Rob
go.
Alford, Rob.
Some of the manliest. I used to live in New York City. Some of the manliest guys I knew were gay.
So Take note of that, young people. That's what men look like.
Yes.
I can't even see them. What do you mean? How do they look like? It's flashing everywhere.
I love when
Blur of
Vaughn's on.
leather and
I love when Vaughn's on this show when we do music trivia. I absolutely do. It's literally my favorite thing in the whole wide world. All right, moving
That's
on.
one thing I do notice, by the way, because I was like, when I noticed that, generally speaking, when I'm the most confused tends to be when the chat has the most fun, or when I'm like, because I would be I played this one video game for hours and hours and hours on the stream, and whenever I was having the least fun with the game and yelling was when the chat was most active having fun. And I think it's the same with my trivia shows. They don't like it when I succeed.
Oh,
Yeah, well, these people are in for a real treat going forward. Here we go. Euro trash, Euro garbage. Here we go.
Oh god.
Right. Name and artist.
Dan, you can help me with this, man. Oh wait.
Ugh,
Oh,
God.
Yeah.
How do I know that?
Once again, our engineer David D has been drinking
Yeah, it's not
heavily.
you know that face that Red Fox always makes whenever Esther enters the room, and yeah, that's the face that I was making when I saw that.
I got into this.
It's another night, but I don't know the singer. Just another night.
It is, of course, Real McCoy. Just another night.
McCoy.
Another cheesy track band
Yeah.
hailing from the UK.
Couldn't you have played like Tarzan Boy? Like that's
No.
like an awesome song from this era.
Well, that's kind of a new wave poppy thing. It's actually shows some kind of talent.
Yeah,
This
sure
is
does.
literally a loop machine, basically making these can basically be made by RoboCop. Let's see. Let's do another one here, and then we'll get into a little bit of the weirdness going forward. Mr. Bergen, in case you didn't know, Dan is known for his trivia. I'm known for it, I tells you. Let's see. Speaking of new wave nonsense, here we go. Iron,
All right,
if you will.
name the song and put the title and artist in the chat as fast as you can if you want.
Look,
Morning Sun.
It's from
You got the
Silence
title.
Loss, I think.
you got the title. I mean, the artist. Excuse me. What's the title? I heard the artist, but not the title.
Is that Morning Sun?
That's a lyric. That is not
It's a
the
lyric.
title.
That's not the that's not the title.
I know this one.
Somebody in the chat's got to know this.
Selena and Emily are literally superhuman with this shit. They literally are. Anybody going once, going twice, going 3 times, and gone. That is, in fact, New Order. True
New
Faith.
Order. That's
True
it. New
Faith.
Order.
Of course.
True Faith, New Order. This is a band that is near and dear to me, close to my heart. They live in the same place I do. Here we go.
All right, name the song and, of course, title and artist in the chat as fast as you can.
Oh, that's Pantera.
Pantera.
Yeah,
But-
Pantera, yeah.
But what
Cemetery
is,
Gates.
That's the song.
Oh, fucking.
you don't sound sure, Dan. Are
See,
you sure?
Well, I'll
Yeah.
go Cemetery Gates. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go with that one.
Now you see, I've never been a Pantera fan because I can't stand Phil Anselmo. That's the only reason I'm not into them. It's the same reason I'm not into Motley Crue.
That's a good reason to not be a fan.
You think so?
That is, of course,
Dun,
Pantera, Cemetery Gates.
Yes,
Uh,
of course.
I was trying to trick you with my tone. But clearly it didn't work. All right. A couple more and then we'll move on. Let's do this one. Again, pointing out it's very interesting when men actually sing. Let's see here. And going
Well,
on.
Morrissey has a song called Cemetery Gates too.
Oh,
I'll meet you
who
at the
said?
cemetery gates.
Thank God, my
Gates and
other.
gates are on your side.
Thank God, my other host is not here. Crow hates Morrissey. He actually met him. I think he's met him.
Oh, no.
That's probably why he hates him.
I'll say this: I'm a huge fan, but I'm not good. I'm done fucking defending that dude. You know,
He apparently has a reputation of being a colossal asshole.
yes, yes.
Here we go. All right, name and
title and
name and
artist in the chat.
Oh, the Humpty Dance,
Bye.
Digital Underground.
All right.
Yes.
Brian is finally on the board. All right,
Man,
there we go.
And please just let me say this, Vaughn. If you don't know what the Humpty Dance is, go
No.
check that shit out. Look that. Do you know what the Humpty Dance is? Do you know Humpty Dance?
No,
Do you know who Humpty Hump was?
I could pretend I do.
Well, educate yourself, young man. Educate yourself. What are you doing with your life?
You need a music?
I can tell you what I'm not doing in my
Shit.
life. Humpty Dance.
Humpty Dance
Yes,
was the shit.
indeed.
Like,
It really is. It's a lot of fun. It's ridiculous, stupid fun.
That was the shit.
Humpty
Yeah.
Dance.
Yeah. And like every millennial friend I've had, I've been like, you know what the Humpty Dance? You don't know the Humpty Dance. I'm just like, and like sit them down like Clockwork Orange style, like Ludovico technique with their eyes wide open. And like, you need to watch this shit, young person.
Actually, we're going to do two more because I'm curious if people remember this. They were very popular and then they just kind of disappeared. But I'm curious if people remember these guys.
Name the tune, title and artist in chat.
Oh, ST.
I'll accept that. Name the song.
ST. Oh, damn! I should have paid better attention to the clip. It's I think it's the first song that's off of Art of Rebellion. You Can't Bring Me Down.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, I thought it
ST,
was.
man. I love
I
me
thought
some
it was
ST.
I thought it was Helmet at first.
Nah, it
No,
was ST.
no.
I
is
only
of
remember
course.
this video
That-
from Beavis and Butthead in the 90s.
Brian, say it again if you would, please.
This is Suicidal Tendencies with You Can't Bring Me Down from Art of Rebellion.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Again, they
Yes.
kind of, as soon as like 2000, 2001,
Yeah.
they couldn't go anywhere in LA without being mobbed by about 1,000 chicks.
ST was
but
the shit, man.
But right after 2000, 2001, you couldn't find them. They literally disappeared.
Yeah.
Last one, and then we'll wrap it up with a little bit of UFO stuff.
I actually went to see them live, like not far from
Really?
where I lived. Yeah, and when we arrived, there was a riot because what happened was the fans were lined up to get into the venue, and cops showed up, like rolling deep, and were sticking attack dogs on the fans, and just dove into them and started beating the crap out of everybody. Like my friends and I were luckily we arrived late. And these cops stopped us. So we're like, where are you going? What are you doing? And we're just passing through. All right, get out of here. Yeah. We came that close to getting like beaten bloody by the police.
I can imagine it at one of their concerts. I can imagine. All right, name and artist.
Biggie Smalls.
That actually wasn't supposed to be that one. That is a different song than I have listed. So, anybody.
I don't know the name.
Well, I just don't care. I just don't care. It's like
Ooh, David D's got it.
fucking-
David D has got it.
Right, because this is after
Hey, so-
Yeah,
Biggie
hey,
Smalls got
somebody-
assassinated by.
So
Bonus points.
I was with Vaughn. I thought that was Biggie for some reason.
I didn't say anything.
It is. It
Oh,
is.
that was Brian.
It is. Bonus points. One of those people in that video is a double murderer
Yeah.
and a kid diddler.
Puffy.
In that video. Bonus points for naming who that is. Of course, it is, of course, Puffy, Puff Daddy, Mace, and Biggie. More money, more problems. Ladies and gentlemen, this is awesome. This is great. We're going to do a couple of strange phenomenon videos just to wrap this up, and then we'll close with everybody's projects and bid you all goodbye. So hang around for a little bit more. Here we go. Let me get into that. Talk amongst yourselves while I bring up the file.
How about that
All right.
90s
How about that new
music?
Crow movie, huh?
Oh my god!
I haven't seen the
that's-
trailer for it. I've just been seeing screen grabs.
Like
I was
surprisingly,
going to give it a chance.
I'm sorry.
Wow.
yeah, I like right the moment that first image hit, right, the first picture of Bill Skarsgård,
Yeah.
who's an excellent actor, by the way,
Mhm.
and it certainly had the physique because he needed to train to bulk up for.
It's called
who he did
Heroin
before.
Chic.
It's like, what were they thinking?
Yeah,
Like-
they made him look like Jared Leto's version of the Joker. 'cause
Like a
they knew how
SoundCloud
that
rapper.
passed. Yeah,
Like a SoundCloud rapper. How do you go from
I
goth
want-
Now,
to like SoundCloud?
I want to
SoundCloud
see
rap?
whatever Tron movie Iron is in right now. Like this, I'd much rather see this.
Oh my god!
Okay.
I'm gonna
Attacking
give you-
one-
I'm gonna
attacking
give-
one-
I'm gonna give you hell about that room because it's so cool and I'm so jealous.
yeah.
Aside from disparaging Iron's decor, let's get into this particular video, which I'll give you background about as it plays. This particular video, it came out of Eastern Europe.
When?
It purportedly shows a hovering flying saucer that stayed in the area for more than a half hour. It was seen by more than 100 people. Are we looking at something that is real or is fake?
Hold on, let me.
Is there a definitive answer to this?
See,
Or are you asking?
video could
It's
be-
just your opinion. It's just
There's
your
never a
opinion.
definitive
Excuse me.
answer to any of these.
Well, no,
Excuse
'cause it
me.
could be if it's
Philippines.
fake. There is. If it's like early, it was like, "Haha, it was my drone." Like, is it
Actually,
one of those? Or is it
Philippines.
like,
Philippines. Sorry about that, Philippines.
What
The other one is
potato? What
Eastern
potato
Europe.
was this filmed on?
This was done back in 1991, I believe. This video.
Somebody's like shooting black and white video in 1991.
No, it's just washed out color.
yeah, come
Oh,
on, you
okay.
amateur.
It's
Come
the
on.
depressing
Oh, this is the
Philippines. So.
Gotcha.
What? That is
Oh,
fucking
come
fake.
on.
That is fake.
Okay.
100% authentic.
Yeah, we gotta have one
No.
believer on panel to
Yeah.
Right.
balance it out.
Right.
All right, all
I mean,
right.
it's better.
That was
It's
awful.
better than Ed Wood, like dangling hubcaps from strings.
They really could have sold it until that ending was.
Yeah.
No, even
That's
then
what
I
they
was
got
like
there.
shaky. I was like, "This is too."
Right.
Let's
Yeah.
see if this
They
one
They
can.
botched the
Elizabeth,
ending unless
you
they meant it
could've-
to be funny.
Haunted
Yeah, you
farms.
Let's see if we can trip you up with this
No.
one. Here we go
Okay.
from Nuke Stock 5.
In
Here
June
we go.
2023, a local from New York claimed that he had encountered aliens. And surprisingly, he had a video to prove his claims. In the footage, he can be seen walking by some tall fields when this odd face emerges from behind the vegetation.
Oh come
Captain
on,
This
Howdy.
man.
alien-like form that we all have been
Stay
familiar
young,
with since the start of times.
Captain
The
Howdy.
man was completely startled and even ran away. But curiosity got the better of him as he came back to inspect more, and the alien creature was still standing there. I must say, this guy's got nerves of steel for confronting an alien face to face. The creature kept moving
Oh,
while
does he
keeping eye
confront it,
contact
or
with the
does he
guy.
just film
And
it from a
then
distance?
The
There-
move-
All right.
There's
What are we
nothing-
thinking?
There's no
the movements is
skin
pretty
or
convincing.
eyes that.
Dude,
reflect
why
light
is he
that way.
walking like a fucking Goomba from Mario? He's like
I'm
this.
trying to remember. there's a
Like, come on.
found footage movie
I'm an
called
alien
Something
believer, but-
Incident, and that's what this looks like.
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to remember the name of it, or it's like the McPherson tape. That's the name of it.
Yeah.
The McPherson tape.
Man.
It's
This is
about
sad.
a family that's having like Thanksgiving dinner.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
That's what this kind of reminds me of. It's actually very well made. It's
Actually, you know what, Brian?
a good
There's a backstory behind that. They say that tape leaked basically onto the proto-internet in 1996.
Oh, wow.
And what they did, supposedly, there's two versions of it. One is actually real, and one is actually that created depicting the exact same events, but it's they want clearly faked. It's a movie, and they basically said the government released the fake one to take the away from what the real one could possibly be interpreted as. That actually, there's the whole backstory behind that. They released the fake one as disinformation, and supposedly there is a real one somewhere floating out there amongst the web.
So this was created as a diversion.
Yes.
Wouldn't the government just kill you?
I know, right?
Well, I mean, once it
Yeah,
got loose,
right.
it literally would be very difficult, especially during that time period, to shut down websites, to track it down, to scrub it.
Right. Because now
There
they can just hit a button.
Actually, they can. It
I know
happened
they
on Reddit.
Yeah,
I don't know if you guys remembered
Yeah.
the story
The internet
about
is
the
filthy.
alien picture that escaped for, I think it was about 15 minutes, and they shut down Reddit completely.
What?
Man,
Yeah.
Where?
you guys
When
want to
was
go down
this?
a legit conspiracy with Reddit? You should I don't know how true it was, but there was going around that Ghislaine Maxwell was one of the first big early Redditors and had
Yeah.
government backing.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
What?
Yeah.
I had heard
don't
that,
know.
yeah.
Yeah,
I had heard that.
It was really
Yeah,
weird.
yeah.
I need to research it more. It's really weird.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, Epstein and company were definitely involved with intelligence agencies.
What?
Absolutely.
That would
they
imply
were.
that our government does shady things, and that's just not. That just doesn't happen, guys.
Gee,
Ridiculous.
it's not like they wanted to have
Obscene.
blackmail material on people.
If anyone's reporting
What?
going, don't
Our
do it
lovely
here.
government?
Yeah.
Our lovely government
I know.
would never
Yeah,
do
no.
something like that.
Yeah,
no.
no.
All right.
Come on.
Iron, you're from the
Never,
future. Tell
ever.
us what happens.
Well,
Gentlemen, this one, all joking aside, I didn't take this video, but I have seen something absolute. The reason why I'm so into phenomenon and UFOs and everything else is because I have seen with my own eyes something not
Wow.
like this, but exactly this, only bigger.
Mm. Ooh.
Of what we
Post
just
a wiener.
Yeah, I thought that too. What is this?
You'll see. It'll come in. It'll come into frame. This is New York, by the way.
Oh, okay.
That shit is crazy.
You'll see it as it comes into frame.
I thought it was a street for Full House, man.
Oh, I thought it was a cloud.
See, I know some 90s stuff.
Everybody does at first.
I thought that. Is it rotating?
It's a fucking cloud
It
with
looks
lights
luminous.
Watch
Yeah,
it
clouds
all the
don't
way
move
to the
like that.
end.
Moving weird. I've never seen no
Is
shit
it the
like
bag
that.
from American Beauty?
Shut
No.
up. If I don't reach it.
It's dancing with me.
It seems like it's floating almost like a jellyfish.
Cloud got sparkly lights in it. I've never seen no shit like that.
What in the fuck?
It's moving weird.
What am I looking at?
Yeah, that's weird.
That's very, very strange.
I know you seen
and
the
this is
sparkling
legit
lights in
too.
it.
It's legit.
Where is this from?
100%
When is this
legit. I'm telling you, not only did I see it, but about 40 people pulled off the road and they, along with me, looked above our heads,
Yeah.
and we saw something like that. It was a slightly different color. It was more bluish, and it was about the size of a Goodyear blimp, and it was 200 feet probably above our heads, and it slowly moved towards. I don't want to give my away location. It just slowly moved towards the south. I can tell you the highway I was on 67 between a city called Venus and Midlothian doing a security job. It happened at I think about between 5:30 and 5:50 a.m. in the morning. And it almost caused a huge accident with a semi-tractor trailer truck because he was obviously looking at it. We all pulled off the road. There was literally on one side of the road, there was 15 cars. On the other side of the road, there's probably another 15 cars. Everybody stopped and got out of their car and looked at it.
Oh,
It was huge, and it was moving slowly, and it looked like a gigantic fucking amoeba. Just like it looked exactly like that.
So, I mean, because I'm thinking, right, like, what did it look like it was made out of?
Like, the best way I can describe it, man, is it looked like vapor surrounded by a gigantic amoeba. Like a bacteria or something. You know how you look under the microscope and you
Right.
see these little bacteria?
Yeah.
It looked like that, only it had a cloud around it.
Weird.
Maybe some
Same
kind of
sparkly
cloaking
shit.
device to make it look like it's a cloud.
Brian,
'Cause that's what it looked like.
my thing is, and it's always been my thing.
Yeah.
This happened in '88.
Yeah.
My thing is, it looked alive to me.
Wow, yours or that
Kind-
that thing right there you're talking about?
Both.
Same. Okay.
That
looked
is
alive.
wild. That is wild. Because I know a lot of people that have seen things and and had that experience of pulling over their car and standing there and staring at something. I've never heard them describe something like this.
I didn't
This
see no
is
flying saucer.
I don't know how I
About
would
Fucking
describe it.
Spooky.
It ever since then, that day, I got into this shit. I didn't care about this stuff. I didn't
Right.
believe in it. I
Right.
didn't believe
I
in
never
any
heard
of it.
this
I thought it was
story.
all. I thought anybody who did was a moron
Right.
until I saw that thing. I'm telling you, it wasn't metal. It didn't have any pipes. It didn't make a single solitary sound. It was basically that, what you're looking at, only way bigger.
looking
See-
like it's moving intelligently like that.
Well, it was
Kinda.
floating,
Right.
but it was
seemed
not.
almost
It
like
was not a
jellyfish.
balloon. It
It
was
seemed like
not a balloon.
Right. It seemed like when I was looking at it, it seemed to be moving like a jellyfish or a Portuguese man of war or something like that, right?
Yeah, slowly.
Right. And
Then-
moving through the air like it was water.
Then there is a significantly large Air Force base here where I live. Approximately 25 minutes later, after I got home, the entire neighborhood shook because there were Chinooks, Blackhawks. I swear to
Oh
Christ,
my
there's
God.
probably
Yep.
9 of them
Wow.
going in the same direction.
That
Man.
is wild.
I don't
That
know
is
why they would need a
wild.
Chinook, but there was 2 Chinooks and several Blackhawks. I don't know how many.
Wow.
What's a Chinook? Is that a jet or is that like
No, a Chinook it's like a transport helicopter. It
Oh,
lifts
gotcha,
things.
gotcha. Right.
There was
Right.
2
They're
of them.
Like, yeah.
Mhm.
There
Those
was
are the
2
really
of
long
them
ones. Yeah.
going, and they're the loudest things ever. You can hear them from miles. They were all going in the same direction that thing was going in.
Wow. Wait. All right. Hang on.
So they had
Chinook.
personnel carriers and they had fighter craft.
No, I didn't see any jets. I didn't hear any jets. I heard,
but I mean,
heard and
Black
saw
Hawks.
a lot of helicopters.
going after this thing. And how far
It-
was it off the ground? like around this.
About 200 feet.
So it wasn't even that high up.
No.
Because this one looked like it was up in the clouds. That's why at a distance thought it was the clouds.
Right. In the beginning of the video, you think it's a cloud. Like you don't even notice. Then you start to notice it.
I mean, because
and then it's getting bigger and bigger.
Well,
I mean,
now the guy in the video
think...
noticed something. He called it out, and I noticed it as well. It did look like there were lights within.
There was the thing I saw had little sparkly Christmas lights in it.
It did look like that too.
See,
Yes.
I had no idea that you
like
were
a
a
jellyfish,
non-believer and had
too.
this experience, you know, and all the times we talked, Mr. Berger. I had never known that you had a UFO encounter like this.
That's why I'm so into this shit.
Yeah.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah. It's an interesting thing, Vaughn. It's like when you let people know that you're open just to the idea of weird shit,
And suddenly
right?
the stories
And-
pour in.
Yeah. And the way that the thing is, it's like, I learned this with ghosts, right? Because I was always very fascinated with the notion of ghosts. You let people know that you're open to the idea, and they'll start telling you their stories. And your bullshit meters like this, just not moving, because they're
This
very matter of
thing-
fact about it. They're very matter of fact.
This thing, like I said, was about the size of the Goodyear blimp. It was large.
What do you think?
Large.
Because you've obviously had a
The
lot.
only
of
thing
time
I
to
can
wonder.
think it was is the only thing I can tell you for sure. I don't think it was a machine. I think what I was looking at was alive.
Something
I got
organic.
this distinct impression that it was alive.
Fuck. Now I'm thinking about that Jordan Peele movie, Nope. Have you guys seen that? Right?
Yep.
Where it's like,
Yes,
it looks
I
like it's
loved
a UFO.
it. I was thinking about that right away. That it was
Right.
disguised as-
It's a lot of people didn't like that movie. I actually thought it was really
I
good.
loved it. I think it's my favorite
thought it
Jordan
was-
Peele movie.
Yeah, no, I mean, I thought it was terrific, right? But yeah, it turns out that the UFO it's just a space monster that comes down and fucking sucks people up and eats them.
That's what it reminded me of immediately, but I didn't know if anyone else would know that reference. But yeah.
And because it looked to me, once again, it's like we've all seen films of jellyfish and Portuguese man of wars and other sea life, right?
Yeah.
And there's also sea life that that can has bioluminescence,
Mhm.
right? Like anglerfish, the
Yep.
fish that have like the little lamps in front of them. That's wow.
Just to button this up. Nobody said anything. We all just drove off. We didn't. There was a couple next to me, and then there was a pickup truck beyond them, and then there was a few more cars. We kind of looked at each other. The people across the street looked, but I drove off when it got maybe about 2 minutes away from my position, going south. So, but
And how
nobody
long was
said
it-
anything. Nobody said anything. I didn't even think to do it. I probably should have asked people, well, what do you think? What's going on here? There were
should
people
all pitch in.
talking, but I couldn't, for the life of me, couldn't remember what anybody was saying. There was an overpass, and I'm not sure. I think there were people stopped on the overpass looking at it.
And how long was it before you heard the helicopters?
About 20 minutes later. 20 minutes later.
Hmm.
The way this thing was moving, I don't think it was that far away. It was moving extraordinarily slow. It was moving slower than the video that you saw. It was slow.
That's
it was not
amazing.
moving quickly.
That
Damn.
is wow. Something you did just that you have no explanation for.
Yeah. Family members and a couple of people I know. I've told a couple of people that. I've actually told I've told this story before on one other podcast, but yeah, man, I saw something exactly like that thing I just watched. And apparently it was in New York. That video is from New York. Video is from New York. What surprises me is nobody else has video of it being a city that large, but somebody did get it. And I'm telling you, right hand to God, I saw that. Saw it. Sure did. Saw it.
Man.
Amazing. Amazing.
Anyway, folks, we're gonna wrap it up. Thursday morning we got Rebel Comics coming on. Folks, let's go around the bend one more time. Bring your stuff up, Dan, and we'll wrap it up. And Brian, bring your stuff up, and Vaughn, bring your stuff up, and we'll call it a night here.
Right.
Go ahead, Dan, first. Bring your stuff up, and we will say adieu.
There we go.
All right, here we go. Give that final pitch. And
Oh, yeah.
mods, please drop his stuff in. I think I'm the mod that's dropping your stuff in, so I'm going to do it myself.
Biophile Kolga, 100 pages, fully colored, great gothic eldritch horror story. Also has got some humor in it, action, adventure, fantasy, and technically sci-fi. I don't want to spoil it too much. I think everybody will enjoy it. We've had great reviews so far. Everyone who has seen the printed version in person has loved it. We've sold comics just based off the promise of chapter 1 that was coming. Basically, I think you'll like it. We try to keep it cheap. You can get the book itself for $15, or you can get the catch-up tier, which involves Apollyon 20XX, our first book, 185 pages, and this one 100 pages. That's almost 300 pages for $35, $5 flat shipping. Anything else, just hit us up on Twitter. We'll answer any questions you guys got.
Absolutely. And Brian, where are you at, Brian? Where are you at? Where's your deal? Is it there? There it is. I got it. There you go, Brian. Talk to me.
Yeah, okay.
Talk to me.
All right, let me hit play here. You guys getting any sound?
Nope.
Okay,
No,
all
you're
right.
not.
Okay, in that case, I will just riff over it. Yeah, this is volume 2 trade paperback for Six Gun Gorilla, issues 7 through 8. You can also pick up volume 1, which is issues 1 through 6. I'm happy to say that this is a critically acclaimed comic. It's made with a lot of passion. It's made with a lot of heart. And people have told me that it gives them the feels, that it hits them on a deep emotional level. And I couldn't be any happier than to hear that. But yeah, it's good old school pulp adventure. It's like Tarzan turned on its head. Yeah, a gorilla with really giant guns, blasting people and flying around in a Zeppelin. I mean, if that doesn't sell itself, I don't know what does.
If that doesn't sell itself, I don't know what does. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Vaughn, you're up, my young friend. Here we go.
Phenomenova, ladies and gentlemen, witness the birth of a new phenomenon. If you've been waiting for a brand new superhero story in the vein of the classics you love, with brand new characters, creator-owned, in a universe you can jump onto, you're in luck. I've been writing issues and issues and issues ahead. My voice is in a terrible spot right now. I apologize. But the book is getting printer ready. In fact, Michael Bancroft is formatting my book as we speak. And then from that point, I got to figure out my, I know Greenie said she was interested in doing a closeout. I don't know, I'm figuring out my closeout plans.
We need the pate.
We need to do a closeout party soon. So if you want to be on the event of the century, make sure you do it, because this book has it all, man. It's got great action, good characters, and an exciting premise with loads to come. Not only is issue 1 good, but I've got 2 written, I've got 3 written, I've got 4 written. 6 is being rewritten. And we got more down the pipeline. I'm really excited. Again, great story, tons of exclusives. You will be rewarded if you back this book, and you will be disappointed if you miss the initial train. Don't you want to say you were there for the beginning? Of course you do. So come on. What are you waiting for? Back Phenomenova, issue 1, Lightning Strikes.
All right.
Boom! Boom shakalaka.
Talk amongst yourselves. I'm having a pee.
So let's talk about how
All right.
great I am. All right, so here's the thing, guys. So my
What's up? Give it to us real, Vaughn.
All right, yeah. So the comic book, if you want a comic book, guys, a hefty superhero origin story, you don't just want one of those. You want good dialogue. You want imagine Sam Raimi's Spider-Man, right?
I
But he
hope
goes
there's
out
no,
on his first
I hope
outing.
there's no women in the room. I can't go when there's women in the room.
Pete?
Do math. Do like multiplication tables in your head. That always gets the urine flowing.
So
Oh,
actually,
wow,
Vaughn,
that works.
I
does.
just got a question, man. Where if you could have your way with this being as successful as possible, what would be the first different kind of medium you'd want to see this property going into?
You know what's
Film,
funny?
animation, video game, action figures.
You know what's funny? And by the way, someone asked artist. I am not the artist. I'm just the writer. But so I've thought about this. And it's funny. Initially, it was an idea for a movie, right? But now I'm seeing the first place I think I'd take it would be animation, man. I really do. I think, seeing my characters come to life in an animated style would be great. And we have a 15-year-old. I don't need to see him the actor age out quite so early,
Right.
I think get the magic there first. I would say animation. I'd love to see it as a video game. As a video game, that would be something really special.
Now, definitely
Did
looks like something
someone
that would translate
say?
well on that.
Did someone say animation?
Yes.
Oh shit.
We'll talk. We'll
Oh,
talk.
Absolutely.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank Brian for being here, Dan for being here, Vaughn for being here.
Woo.
Iron, do us a quick favor. Who won the contest? I know who to send the t-shirts to on the panel, and who won in the. Well, Iron will check the chat a little bit later, and then we'll figure out who.
I got the chat figured out. It looks like it was a close call, but I think Emily took it home in the last minute.
Good.
With,
Good job.
Two different.
I
answers.
actually want. I actually
MSK
want to
actually
send
came in
Emily.
strong at first, but
I actually want to give Emily a t-shirt. I really do. And now, who won on the panel?
I believe. Oh boy, it's a tough. It's between Brian and Dan. I think Brian pulled through at the last minute, and got the last couple.
Yeah, I think Brian pulled through at the end.
And
Really?
he-
Then Brian, it is. Happy days, folks. Happy days. All right, folks. That's gonna do it. Iron has made his decision. His decision is final. His word is bond. All right, we're gonna wrap this up. Did you know that we got all the way up to 270 people in here at one point?
Let's
wow.
go. Let's
Yeah.
go.
Which basically means
Yeah, what's that?
the refeed should hit over 1,000. Eat your heart out, people that said we weren't gonna do well. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, mark it down. You are seeing the beginning of something that's going to be good for all of us. You don't
Hell.
need drama. You don't need garbage being talked. You don't need trash being talked. You just need great people like Dan, Brian, and Vaughn coming on this show.
And Mr.
Pitching
Burger,
their-
of course.
We
Yeah,
need
pitching
Daft
their
Punk to
wares.
orchestrate Iron's like soundtrack.
Yep.
Definitely has
Pitching
to
their
be
wares.
new retro wave.
Pitching their
hell yeah.
wares. Watch for the 30-second spots on X, continuing to promote all three of these gentlemen. We have a bunch of people coming on next week. Damn it, I should have had this ready. I need to figure out who we got to give you a preview of what's happening next week. Give me a second. Talk amongst yourselves for a few seconds while I pull this up. Who's coming in next week? Jesus Christ. Should have had this ready.
Same question to Dan. If you see this thing moving past into other medias and you had the choice of where it would go first, where would you prefer it go? Film, animation?
It would be video game because we're making
Video
one
game.
for it, and it's 75% done.
Damn.
Wow.
Damn.
Nice. Fucking
Let's
hell.
go, man. That's
Damn.
awesome.
It's
Sweet.
We need to get that in the advertisement somewhere, Dan. Remind
That's
me,
amazing.
please. Send me a note to promote the upcoming video game. Make sure we get that. That creates a lot of buzz. Okay, next week, on Thursday morning, we have Rebel Comics on with myself and Crow and Luis Guzman, animator of our Indiegogo campaign for Mr. Burger, as well as the king of the One Piece shorts and the creator of the 3 Yellow Flash promo cartoons, Judge Yellow Flash versus the League of Incredible Assholes, which is going to star Juju the Cow, V Diddler, Digibro, and Ethan Mouth, and EVS, the master of gay ops. will be one of the characters on that in the Evil League of Legendary Assholes.
Yes.
And his final cartoon will be announced. Okay, Matt Barr will be here on September 3rd. The great Matt Barr will be here on September 3rd. Phil will be here on September 10th, and we're booking up slots. We got 3 filmmakers coming in. Basically, we've got Mark Garrett, producer of Jitters, coming in. We got the guys that are doing the Arena film. We got Azure Flame Studios, a cartoon production company, coming in. We are going to get here's a real get, 2 of them. John Longbox, which I am honored to get, but also the elusive, the great, the powerful, the mighty student of God will make his first appearance live on this program. We're working it out. Embrace, the creator of Embrace, is coming in. He's coming in. We want to have Phantasmagorical Fanta come on the show as soon as possible. I can make arrangements. Maker Original Series is coming on with their 3D animation crew. And Alien Country, the producers of Alien Country. You can catch that on Kickstarter. A great film. They've already got stuff up on Indiegogo. We're trying to get Telepathic Bunny on board, and we're also trying to get Fatal J to come in and talk about Ninja Blast. We're begging with most embarrassment and humiliation and groveling to get Irene on board. A lot of groveling going on there to get Irene to come on board, and Kelsey, it's easier to get Bigfoot, the Loch Ness Monster, and Santa Claus to come on this show and break dance than it is to get Kelsey to return an email. All right.
One
folks,
question real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Was that a French bulldog I saw in the background?
Yeah, that's
what
Thor.
What a
He's over
life, dude.
You got a Frenchie?
Yeah.
Look at this man's room, and he has a French bulldog. What do you do?
Dangerously cute, man. Dangerously cute. If you can look at a French bulldog and not smile, you have no soul.
Yeah. No.
Folks, we have devolved into dog breed comparisons at this point. I think it's time to say goodnight. All right, ladies and gentlemen, next week, all the graphics will be done. The openings and closing will be done. Look for Vaughn's and Brian's and Dan's promos on X. Look for them on X. We really appreciate everybody. Look, this doesn't work without you, okay? Folks, tell your friends, spread this, like and subscribe, comment before you leave. Do all the stuff on Twitter. Spread this around Twitter. Promote. Do you want a single fat fuck to be able to dictate everyone's lives and financial situations?
Hey, I'm sitting right here.
Yeah.
No, you don't. So let's get this going. Let's create a space where small, mid-level, and creators who just want to do stuff without drama can come. All right, Let's do this. Let's make it big. Let's make it grow. We love you. Thank you so much. And as we say on the Mr. Burger Show, we shall leave you with this wonderful saying: love, peace, and chicken grease. Same bad time, same bad channel. Bye.